Hello and welcome to the Low Code Podcast. I'm Faraz Khan from iTrack, and we are the global specialists in OutSystems recruitment. With this podcast, our aim is to increase awareness and appreciation of OutSystems and its impact and benefits to the market, and our early adoption is giving competitive edge to businesses worldwide. During our podcast, myself and my colleague Sushil Chauhan will be speaking to IT leaders and OutSystems MVPs on how OutSystems has transformed their businesses and careers. We also hope that by speaking to MVPs on their career journeys, we can inspire developers from all over the world to learn from others who have already been on the path. So let's go. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast. Today my guest is OutSystems MVP William Antunes from Brazil. Hello William.
Hi there.
How are you? Thanks for taking part. How are you? You good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How's things over there in Brazil?
Yeah, going. We're trying to survive this crisis.
Yeah, fair enough. And you're working from home?
Yeah,
sure. It'd be good to kind of start off with finding out a bit about yourself, a bit of background into yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm William Antunes. I'm Brazilian. I'm currently 29 years old. I've started my career on 2011 when I was in the middle of my college. And I was doing some extra trainings there. And then one of my teachers decided to give me an opportunity. And then I started an internship during my studying period. And then I had that opportunity, and then it was as a .NET developer.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know OutSystems was not even in Brazil yet.
Yeah.
So I was.
What was it? This was 2011, right?
Yeah, 2011.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then after a year or so on that company, they were a product-based company. So they had an ERP, but that was basically all developed in Delphi. And I was working on some extra tools that they had that were built in .NET.
Yeah.
And at that time, they were thinking that Delphi was pretty slow for them for the time to market that they need.
Yeah.
So then they decided to look to the market to see what they had to help them. And their plans was not to convert the whole thing to another language or another platform, was just to get something on board to help them to accelerate their time to market. So then OutSystems came to the scene. They had just settled themselves in Brazil at that time. It was, I believe, 2012. It wasn't 1 year later, I believe. And then some people went to OutSystems itself in Brazil. It was quite far from our company.
Yeah.
They brought some in-company bootcamp for us.
Okay.
I was part of the team of the research and development.
Okay.
I was one of those luck guys that
had the
opportunity to get
so early on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. I was not looking for it, so it was quite funny to know how I got.
You kind of fell into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult to get to know how to handle the difference between traditional language and OutSystems. I got quite some time to understand that. But I've been working with the OutSystems since then. For 2 years, 3 years, I was half and half working, half in .NET and half in OutSystems. And then I left this company in 2015. At that time, OutSystems was just falling in Brazil. They were not going that well. Because it was quite expensive and everything is quoted here in dollar or even euro sometimes. That's definitely not good for our country because our currency is just really bad.
Yeah, of course.
So it's really expensive. People cannot afford that. So really, only big companies can afford that. It's already expensive in US. Or imagine here.
Exactly.
So then I wasn't able to find another opportunity in OutSystems to work with OutSystems. So I got back to full-time .NET, but I was still looking for OutSystems because I wanted to work with that. So then I got some freelance projects during that period that I was working full time with .NET. So I never stopped really working with OutSystems. And after a year or so, I got another opportunity, and then to get back to the market, to OutSystems. I got the opportunity to lead some teams here in Brazil, to build some teams and to lead them, especially training them, because it's almost impossible to find research here. So usually when you see, let's say 5 research, you need to go and train them, train someone that you trust or is already in the company, because it's quite rare to find them. Then in 2000, I was leading quite a few things, and then I felt, okay, so I believe I need some new opportunities now. I need to get some new challenge. And then I started to look around, and I believe now it's time to try to fly somewhere else and see if I can have some success outside. So that would be really great. I was decided to go to Portugal at the beginning. I was looking around, talking to some friends, some connections. But then a company from the Netherlands, they came to me, they came to my profile, and they, would like to come to the Netherlands. At that time, I didn't even know where exactly was the Netherlands, because I never...
You only looked at Portugal.
I knew that it was a bit close to the
area. Of course,
exactly, I was not sure. So then I started to look around. I was not feeling comfortable about my English. I'm still not that fluent, but at that time I was really bad. I haven't had any opportunity in terms of English speaking
on a day-to-day basis.
Other than having 1 or 2 meetings with a client or so.
Sure.
But then everything went all right. They liked me. Then they sent me a proposal, and let's. In 3 months, I was flying to the Netherlands.
Wow.
Yeah, that was quite fast.
Yeah.
So I stayed in that company for about 1 year. I was there a senior developer. I joined them to basically be a consultant there. I was basically rotating throughout clients and helping them. I had other opportunities in Netherlands too. And then because of some personal reasons, especially because of my wife, that she was not feeling that all right there, especially because of the language, she didn't. I speak English. So then we decided to get another opportunity and see maybe we would move around and see. Maybe even to Brazil. That was not our first option. So we decided to move to Portugal. So I had a short period in Portugal. Right away when we moved there, it was already in quarantine. Everything was closed. So it was
right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. It was not. Yeah, exactly. So then we said, so we are already locked here. Why don't we get back to Brazil? And we are locked at least with family and friends. Close. And if something happens here, what happens?
Of course. Exactly.
And we cannot fly, so we just got back to Brazil. I'm and currently I'm working with CDR. That's an American company. I'm a client architect there. I forgot to say that in 2019, I got rewarded with my MVP title. So because of my articles, I discovered myself on writing content. So I really like to do that. And that's something that if I have time, I like to be writing and sharing content. Because I really believe that by sharing, everyone grows.
Of course. Exactly. If you've got the knowledge, you should share it.
Exactly. So and that's pretty much about me.
Okay. So rewinding back, so when you kind of first came up with 2011, or it was when OutSystems came to you, and you were a .NET guy, and with you said you kind of worked side by side, and OutSystems wasn't so big in Brazil. What kind of made you push on and think, actually, you know what, like, obviously if you're in a country where it's not doing so well, in most cases someone might say, okay, look, OutSystems isn't doing so well, but not .NET is, I'm going to keep going in that direction. What kind of made you say, okay, no, I'm going to keep pushing to go this way?
Yeah, as I said before, the paradigm of OutSystems and .NET is there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And when I got to know this, how to work with OutSystems and not bringing my .NET, my full .NET
Yeah.
knowledge to OutSystems, I started to realize, okay, so if I know how to develop OutSystems language, OutSystems way of working, this is such a thing. So this
Yeah.
is really fast. I can do way more than my team is doing
Yeah.
here
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
around me with .NET. So that was what made me think, okay, I might need to go to that way.
Yeah. 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 So when you were applying for, you said you were applying in Portugal.
Yeah.
Um, had you kind of thought, okay, the reason why you were looking at Portugal was because that was obviously where OutSystems was from, and plus the language would have been probably a lot easier transition. So how was things in Netherlands at that time when you got the proposal?
Yeah, it was good. I
Mm.
think it started to increase.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we have that boom from Netherlands. That is probably the second biggest market
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
all systems.
Yes.
But at that time, nobody even knew that Netherlands had that amount of OutSystems projects and
Yeah. Sure.
developers. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But at that time, it was not that big. We had quite a lack. I also had to train some people there,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
especially people from clients, for instance,
Yeah. Yeah.
that they needed 2 or 4 developers, and then they couldn't just hire some external people. So we trained them. So that was quite normal there at that time. Now I believe that it's quite
Yeah,
easy
plenty of
to find
people there. Yeah,
autism
yeah, yeah, yeah,
developers in
exactly.
Netherlands. So
Exactly, exactly. So, one thing that obviously is quite, I think different from your journey is that, like I said, you relocated to Netherlands, and we mentioned this earlier that many people from Brazil tend to go to Portugal or not leave Brazil,
yeah.
mainly because of the language and things like that. So your English, you said, wasn't the best before you went. So did you kind of, it was that something you just kind of had in your mind? Look, no matter what, I'm gonna move over, and I'll work on my English, and I'm gonna kind of. Was it all for your career? Was it like, I need to do this move for my career?
Yeah, it was. I was decided to leave, but as I said, it was to Portugal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But then a headhunter came to me, and then
yeah,
she was really persistent because I was not willing to do
yeah,
so.
yeah,
I was not
yeah.
even willing to do the interview
Yeah. Okay.
because I was really excited to go to
Yeah, yeah,
Portugal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So she was really persistent. So after the third time, I think she called me. I accepted the interview, and then we decided to go to that to give it a chance.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm guessing you definitely don't regret that headhunter
No,
pestering you
definitely
now.
not. No.
And how do you think that experience, now you're obviously back home, how do you think that experience has helped you in your career?
I would say that the multicultural companies that I've worked. For instance, I've worked at LinkedIn that they have, I
Yeah,
believe, 22, 23
yeah,
nationalities there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Was crazy. So
yeah,
the change that we have of information, of
yeah,
culture, of
yeah,
everything, I believe I got back here way better than
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was before.
I'm guessing a lot more confident as well.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. Because I've worked in multiple companies, different sectors,
yeah,
different types of clients,
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
managers, of
yeah.
everything.
And I think that's what's quite, inspiring about your kind of career, because I speak to people from Brazil weekly. And, sometimes, the English is the problem, or the English might be, I think good, but they think it's not so good. And that sometimes holds them back when they think, oh, I'm not sure. And even, we get the same with some people from Portugal as well, who kind of hesitate to try international journeys,
Yeah,
where they think, okay, well, maybe I'll do this move. I'm too nervous to do this move for my family, my wife, my kids, and all those things. So I think it's
yeah,
quite inspiring, I think, for others who hear this, that you kind of took that risk, moved to the other side of the world, to Europe, to a country that, both, you didn't speak Dutch or English that much. So, and then now you're back, you've done that journey and you're back and you're better for it.
Yeah.
So did you learn any Dutch while you were there?
Een beetje.
Ah, good. Okay. Yeah, I only know the basics. So.
Yeah. I tried, but yeah, it's very far from our language, and yeah, you need to really want to be willing,
really invested. Yeah. So you left in, is it 2017?
2018, beginning of 2018.
Okay. So you came back to Brazil this year, early this year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just now,
3 years later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 3 years later, how do you see the kind of swing in OutSystems now in Brazil? Is a lot different to 2011.
Yeah, it is.
How do you kind of, what do you think that's down to?
I would say that the price hasn't changed. So you really expensive and people still cannot afford it. But I believe we have way more big companies willing to get a technological arm on their company.
They believe in the product.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time, they're not even IT companies.
Yeah.
So they're just really huge companies that they need a IT department there. Or their IT department is not doing their
sure.
And they want something to get it faster.
Yeah.
So OutSystems is coming to that place in Brazil right now, I would say. There are few consultancy companies growing up here, but not that many.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to find research here. I have all the time people coming to me, okay, can you recommend someone? Because I need someone. And I say, no.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you need to pay someone from Europe or US. And
exactly. Yeah.
So it's getting better.
Yeah, I think definitely the junior resource market is getting better in Brazil.
It is.
Probably a lot of help probably from Rafa and his training. Definitely, indeed. I think he's definitely growing the junior side of things, which is, will eventually have a abundance of medium and senior level guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
that's one of the best things that Brazil got. So some really good guys are getting back to Brazil.
To
train people to get new groups, and that's great.
Yeah, that is great. That is great. And with OutSystems, you've used it for nearly less you were on and off in the beginning, but 10 years now, which is not a lot of people, especially outside of Portugal. 10 years with OutSystems is a very long time. In that time, I think you started from version 6. I think I saw, was it version 6?
5.
Okay,
6, 5 to 6, I believe.
5 or 6, yeah. So in that time till now, what kind of features do you think that they've implemented that have kind of got them to this level where they are now? Like key features that have kind of got them to that level of a business. And as like you said, companies in Brazil now, just even though it's expensive, they're thinking, okay, we need to invest in this product.
Yeah, I believe the main thing that people are really passionate about OutSystems is the whole platform.
Yeah.
So you have everything's linked, everything is easy, everything is not like, okay, you have Microsoft is a company as a whole, but then you have Azure.
Yeah.
But then you have .NET, you have Visual Studio, you need to link everything.
Yeah, sure.
Not everything is linked to you. Of course, some stuff are, but OutSystems, everything is linked, everything is easy. So they are thinking on the whole journey of an IT company.
Yeah.
So I come from the refinement to development, and then I have some help on the deployment, and then I can maintain my application. So the whole process, I believe they are rounding it up every year, and that's just getting better every year. I believe that's making the clients a bit more confident about it.
Sure. Okay. And in your time, have you ever looked at any other low-code platforms just to be nosy or just see what they're like?
Yeah, we did at the time. I was not really in front of that research that we did.
Yeah.
But for instance, I got to know Mendix because of the Netherlands, of course.
Yes.
But
it's quite big in the Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah, but for instance, in Brazil, I never heard about it before.
Yeah.
So that was quite weird to me, that difference from Netherlands and Brazil. And we did some other minor tools here that I don't even remember the name here, but OutSystems was far ahead from them.
Yeah. And I think that's where like all these other players now, there's a big investment in low code because they've got to chase OutSystems now and kind of catch up, where I think before there wasn't much of a, now the word low code is a lot well known compared to years ago, or even 5-6 years ago, where I think it wasn't that well known. Like we speak to people all the time who, even iTrack is 4 years old, and at the beginning, when we told people about low code and OutSystems, we had to then spend another half an hour explaining it. So and now we're in a stage where a lot of people have heard of it, and they're aware of it, and they might not be using it, but at least there's a presence now. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah,
which is great. Yeah. And one thing that is kind of a global issue, and like you said, even in Brazil, is a shortage of developers, especially good developers. Do you come across much people kind of who come from traditional code who that you may be connected to on LinkedIn, or they've just seen you write articles, who've kind of said to you, look, I'm thinking about it, but I'm skeptical, anything like that?
Yeah, a lot. I got a lot of old colleagues coming to me and I saw that you were working with OutSystems. I heard about that. Can you help me with something? Can you teach something? Can you give me some heading to what to study or something like that? I'll tell you that every month I have someone coming to me and asking me about OutSystems or how to get started with OutSystems.
Okay, good. So at least it's a positive. They've got a positive view on it.
Yeah, indeed.
And are you kind of ever in a discussion with people who are kind of against low code? And one thing we try to kind of ask all our guests is for us as a recruiter, we're constantly not only talking to OutSystems developers but also talking to non-OutSystems developers to try and get them to make the switch. We do have customers who say, look, it can be a senior .NET person as long as they're willing to learn OutSystems or mid-level. And that can be a difficult conversation at times. Do you ever have that kind of situation?
Yeah, all the time. That's normal. That won't disappear.
Yeah.
I had quite some challenge on, especially in front of clients.
Yeah.
That they are really used, especially the ones that are using really old technologies.
Yeah.
For instance, we had a project, a POC on a specific client. And after a week developing with 3 people in OutSystems, that 3 people in OutSystems is quite a big project. That's already.
Yeah.
So after a week of development, he just came to us and they said, okay, I could develop that in VB.NET in the same time that you did.
Okay. All right.
Said, okay.
Did you tell him to show you?
Yeah, I almost said that.
Yeah.
So how can I convince that guy? He's already convinced that he's better. So
sure.
I don't have a way to argue against that.
Yeah.
And that's quite normal to happen.
Yeah. I think the guys who kind of have that background that they will think their way is the right way all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Of course.
Yeah.
And all you've done 10 years with OutSystems. What do you kind of see the future of low code and OutSystems?
Yeah, we've seen the first step already, which I believe is reactive.
Yeah.
They launched it a couple of years ago, but it's not ready yet. We all know that.
Yeah.
They are always improving that. I believe, they are going to somehow let everyone go to that side.
Yeah.
Or guide everyone to that path.
Sure.
Yeah, I believe that's gonna be and PWA is also gonna be one of the future of the platform for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And for you, you're now back in Brazil, working remotely for US customer. What's your kind of future aspirations? I know, so MVP was something that came up in 2017. Are you still quite active on the community? I know, like, obviously to be to MVP, there's certain things, criteria to are you kind of still quite active in that side of things?
Yeah. I've been working mainly with the product team. Because as MVPs, we also have direct connection with the product team from OutSystems.
Yes.
So we are directly working with them to, for instance, I've been testing a lot the new hybrid version.
Okay.
It's going to work with Windows and Mac.
Yeah.
So I have direct impact on it. I'm also writing some other stuff, some secret stuff that I cannot tell right now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I know MVPs tend to have a lot more information than others that they cannot share.
That's true.
No, that's fair enough.
But okay. My plan is this year to get back is to my articles, because I have left that behind a little bit to work on some other fronts. But I'm writing a lot currently.
Okay, great. Well, it's great to it was great to speak to you. I think a lot of people will kind of find, like I mentioned to you before, your journey quite inspiring, because there's not a lot of people that do relocate during their career, and I think it's definitely done a good impact on yours. So hopefully that can inspire younger Brazilians, even get them to push on and learn English as well. So thanks for speaking to us. Hopefully we can, we've been talking for years, me and you. So hopefully we can one day meet somewhere, maybe the next step in the USA when it's back on. But thanks for your time, William. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast, hosted by iTrack, Global OutSystems Recruitment Specialist. Be sure to subscribe, and see you next time.